disaster. Right, 2 seconds. Right, let's sort this out quickly. Right, I don't know what's going on here. Right, I should be live. On my phone saying I'm not live, but I should be live. But anyway, yeah, we are live today talking about Swansea's 3-0 victory over Hull yesterday. Very, very good victory for the Swans. Quite comfortable as well. Obviously, clean sheet again for the Swans, which was very, very good to see. Another home win and a win which was much needed, to be honest. After the last couple of difficult weeks, people questioning the manager. It was a very, very good win. Get your comments in. We'll be talking about it. My phone's just playing up for a moment. If you can see me, leave a thumbs up or something, because on my phone saying I'm not live, but on my iPad I'm live. So if you can see me and it's all good, then please do let me know in the chat. We'll go into comments and stuff like that. It's going to be a very interactive show today. I do want to do these a lot more, match previews, match reviews. So I'm sorry I've not been doing previews or reviews recently. I've just been very, very busy with work and stuff like that. But I thought, trying to bring the content back, time to bring, the regular, because there's a lot of, you guys who want to see regular content. So we'll jump into the comments. We'll talk about the game. But like I said, it was a very, very good afternoon yesterday for Swans on Sky Sports. So Sean Lewis says, where do I think the Swans will finish this season? It's weird, mate. We're in mid-table at the moment, 10 games in, so we're nearly, 1/4 for the way done in the season already, which is absolutely ridiculous. But if we can get that top 6, which I think is definitely potential up. We've conceded 5 times already in the 90th minute of the season. If you take that away, I think we'd be in 3rd place. So we're playing well, but it's just that bit of lack of concentration. Yeah, very, very good win, mate. It was indeed a fantastic performance. Like I said, it should have been a lot more than 3 as well. We hit the crossbar 3 times yesterday, which was ridiculous. Big up, Mike. I was watching your 2-hour review of James Rowbury. I'm already halfway through. I have to watch the rest of the year, but I really enjoyed that. Welcome to the chat, SHS Cal. Hull fan in the chat. He says, short out. Yeah, we'll talk about Hull in a moment, mate. But yeah, I thought you were absolutely shocking that yesterday, to say the least. Forza Calf match against that. We'll dive in that later on in the show, mate. We'll just focus on Swans Hull for the time being. Hello, mate. How you doing? Yeah, I'll be getting people on in a bit, Mike, in around about 10-15 minutes' time. Dean said start Cundall over Fulton next game. I thought Fulton played well, to be honest, mate. Obviously, Fulton lacks that attacking threat as he's a central defence midfielder. But, Cundall, when he came off the bench yesterday, was really, really good. And hopefully now Joe Allen's injury is not too serious. Probably will rule him out for the Wales games. But, yeah, I think Cundall's a definite start against West Brom Albion, which he'll definitely be up for, considering he's on loan from Wolves, and West Brom are big rivals as well. We'll go on to the next comment. David says, Hull's defence were on Dazapam, where they, what a shocker, yeah. For the last 2 goals as well, the second one was bad enough. Figueiredo kicking himself back to no man's land, open goal for Cundall. The third one, you don't give a player of Joe Pro's quality at the ball. And Pro got his well-deserved goal yesterday. Again, should have probably had a hat-trick at the bar twice. Hello, Curse. Hopefully you're doing well, mate. Great to see you yesterday as well. What do you think about Bender replacing Fisher in goal? For me, the correct decision. If anyone's been watching my channel for a long time, I'm a big Stephen Bender fan. Last season, he was third choice goalkeeper. Of course, we had Andy Fisher as the number 1, Ben Hamer as the number 2. Bender obviously went on loan to Peterborough then second half of the season. But for me, again, the way we play football at the moment suits Bender. We're not playing it around the back. Bender's job is saving shots, which has been sensational. 2 clean sheets in 3 games. The only goal he conceded was in the 94th minute as well as Sheffield United. So technically, if we just declined that error from Cal Norman, it would have been 3 clean sheets in 3 games. Don't get me wrong, Fisher's a decent keeper. Obviously, that away you give the Blackpool on the season where he saved the penalty, kept the clean sheet, made some big saves on that one. Look, Fisher's a good keeper, but for me, Bender, much better. And, hopefully Bender now can just continue his performance, because the back 4, back 5 look a lot more confident with Bender in goal as well. Yeah, mate, he has gone for me clueless. Yeah, I need to look more about Newport, to be honest, but I thought you had a decent start of the season. Clearly, I'm wrong. I met Dundle yesterday, darling Sorinola. Sorinola's improved massively. Fair play. I've given him a lot of criticism since he signed. I think it was justified. But to be fair, he's proved us all wrong, which is brilliant. I don't know if Cundall deserved man of the match. I've got to be honest for. Manning probably deserved it. Clean sheet, 90th minute, got a goal. His crosses on the left-hand side were fantastic, considering, the day before he didn't get a call up for the Republic of Ireland score, which was absolutely ridiculous, because for me, he's better than Robin Brady and better than James McLean, in my opinion. But yeah, very, very good performance from them. Ollie Cooper, right, Mike will talk about this, because everyone knows Mike Green is a Newport County fan, of course. Ollie Cooper was on loan at them last season. Mike was telling me that Ollie Cooper is going to be some player. Of course, first couple of games he didn't come off the bench. I think he came off the bench against Luton Town, I think it was, with Cameron Congreve and Cooper, and Congreve was superb off the bench. And then Cooper started then against Stoke away, where he was absolutely phenomenal. And fair play to Cooper. Look, he's a youngster, and especially him and maybe Congreve, not so much so, but Cooper, his work rate is incredible. Sometimes he does lack the end product, like we saw against Sheffield United on Tuesday night, where, it was a 2-on-1. He probably should have shot the side of the pass and obviously didn't get the goal, but his work rate's phenomenal. And what really frustrates me about players like Cooper and Congreve is that they work so hard, but then you've got senior pros then in Jamie Patterson and Olivier Jam who just don't work as hard. Valid that they're not as young as Congreve and Cooper, but they just, Cooper and Congreve, I know they're local lads, but they just fight for the shirt and just put energy in. And that's something which really we've not seen from Patterson. And then Jam Patterson not even in the squad yesterday, and Jam didn't come off the bench. But for me, this is why you just love seeing local players come through, because even if they don't have the quality, Cooper is going to be some player. And of course, Alan now is probably not going to be playing for Wales, so we'll have to replace him. And for me, I'm going to sound biased, but you've got to give Ollie Cooper a chance. At the end of the day, if Ruben Colwell's getting in that squad and he's hardly started the season for Cardiff, granted he was injured in pre-season, whatever, but Cooper's playing regular football in the Championship, contributing goals and assists, Cooper should get called up for Wales. But, if he's not, then it's our advantage as well. I was worried you're going to have a heart attack amount of times Swans hit the wood. Mate, honestly, when we hit the woodwork for the third time, I thought it wasn't going to be an old day, but thankfully Hull's defence helped us. But yeah, very, very good performance yesterday, and hopefully now it's a stepping stone. West Brom obviously picked up a point yesterday, but they've only won one game this season out of a possible 10. Looks like Steve Bruce will be in charge for the game, which is brilliant, because I didn't want to have a new manager bounce. Could be a hair on my failure. He was excellent last season. Surnola's actually improving. I remember you raised him when we lost Oxford. I think it was valid though. Look, Saturday Surnola was pretty crap, to be fair, but maybe he just took him a few games to get him. But I'm not going to take back my criticism, because he was poor, but he's been really, really good recently. Nathan, a Cardiff fan, says 10 out. I'll leave it there. Well, I'll touch on Morrison quickly. Of course, this is a Hull review, so I'll review the game in a bit now, but I do want to dive into your comments. But yeah, Cardiff obviously sacking Steve Morrison. Let me know what your thoughts down below. Obviously, Cardiff are rivals, so I think it's a fair talking point. Obviously, South Wales Derby's coming up next month as well. But yes, it's a weird decision. The board of Cardiff and the owner have given Morrison the leeway to bring his players in, make a new philosophy. Obviously, Cardiff want to go to a bit more possession style attacking play instead of the Brexit hoofball. They've had some impressive results this season. A draw away to West Brom, decent result on paper. They beat Middlesbrough midweek, which is a hard place to go. Granted, Middlesbrough not a great start of the season, but still, Middlesbrough away is a tough place to go. 3 goals there. Beat Norwich, opening game of the season. Norwich second. And they've just sacked Morrison. I got a feeling something's gone on behind the scenes. It's got to have gone on behind the scenes, because Morrison's done a different job. I know Cardiff are not great in position on the table, but, they're only a few points off the playoffs. With 10 games in, anything can happen in the Championship. And, some of the players Morrison signed in the summer have played really well. Cedric Keeper in centre-half has been really, really good. Romain Sawyers has popped up a few goals. Obviously, Karen Robson did miss a penalty yesterday, but he played really well midweek. Mark Harris, who obviously is in Championship quality, got a goal midweek as well. Yeah, it's a weird decision, but hopefully you don't appoint Nathan Jones. That's one appointment I'd be very scared of. Mate, Ollie Cooper, special talent, which I'll explain deeply when he's terrific, mate. He's absolutely terrific, mate. Just changed my profile picture. I changed my name, but people from the other chat know me as that. No worries, mate. Alan will be a massive loss for us this week. Yeah, I know people will be saying he's played a lot of football, but to be fair, the first few games he's really coming off the bench. It's just unfortunate. From a Swansea City point of view, he'll be fit for West Brom, which is fantastic. But Wales will probably play Joe Morel maybe. Could play Ampadu. They got options, but I'd like to see someone called up instead of Alan. Maybe someone a bit more like a box-to-box replacement. But I'd like to see Cooper. Cooper's done more in 4 games than Encham has all season. Well, Encham obviously scored against Blackpool, but he was still poor in that game. I thought we were going to lose late on before Manning scored. Yeah, definitely. I was the guy who was standing behind this guy's box room and the players walked out. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Cardiff sacked the manager, looking good for the Swans. Yeah, but they can have a new manager bounce. Obviously, usually when teams do sack the manager, they win the first couple of games. But it will be interesting to see who Cardiff do a point from a Swans point of view. Like I said, don't want Nathan Jones to get the job. It'll cost quite a lot of money to get him out of Luton, to be fair. Obviously, I think he's got a contract until 2027. So, yeah, I think Jones would probably be interested in the job, but it's going to be a big, big payout. And obviously, he has left Luton before. Hello, Morgan Miles. Hopefully, you're doing well, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Steve Morrison's been treated shite by Tan. Apparently reported in the media now was due to the position in the table. Ivory Tanler. That's ridiculous, though, if he's been sacked due to the position. Look at Middlesbrough. Chris Wilder's a terrific manager. They're not going to sack Chris Wilder. They'll give him time. We're 10 games in. There's 36 games left. There's a 2-month break in November and December. Plenty of time left. But keep the comments coming in. Like I said, Swansea did beat Hull 3-0. We'll dive on that later on in the show. I just want to do a Q&A for the first 20, 30th minute, answering your championship questions. But yeah, very good performance from the Swans yesterday. Manning, Cundall, Perot, 4 goals in 5 games now for Joel Perot. We are finally seeing the Pro of last season. It's brilliant to see how we kept Joel Pro this amount. I have no idea. We're screwing the derby if Cardiff by Nathan Jones. I reckon it's not great against him. Well, I think it was a year ago today, actually. We drew 3-0 to Luton. We were 3-0 down. So, yeah, speaking of that. Thank you very much, Alex Harrison, for the £1.79 donation. Very much appreciate that, mate. I believe I saw you yesterday as well, if my memory serves correct. He said, played very well yesterday. Our passing was class. Yeah. Now, of course, everyone usually associates Swansea with this, boring style of possession-based football with the goalkeeper. But we scrapped that. Since that Stoke draw where we conceded the 91st minute to a Tyrese Campbell equaliser, as soon as we're getting ball back to the keeper, we're just kicking it long and getting the second ball. And it's working nicely because even if we don't win the first header from the long kick on the halfway line, we're getting the second ball thanks to Grimes and Fulton and Allen, which just means we're higher up the pitch, which is brilliant. So, yeah, Martin has adapted to it. So thank you very much, Alex, for your donation, mate. I will put you on the bottom of the screen as the latest donation. If you do want to donate to the channel, guys, you can. But as long as you like and subscribe to the channel, that's all I ask for. But yeah, obviously, I didn't do a vlog Tuesday night, didn't go to the game. I was unfortunately in work. But yeah, there's a lot positive about Tuesday night as well. From what I've heard, it was a very good performance. So, yeah. 2 seconds. There we are. Sorry about that. A notification on my phone accidentally clicked it and the stream went off, but I am back now, hopefully. But yeah, let's carry on. Thoughts on Obafemi getting booed? Now, this is interesting. Hopefully the stream's all right. I clicked the notification. But yeah, thoughts on Obafemi getting booed. Of course, Obafemi came on yesterday, his first appearance in a few games after he was in the right frame of mind to play. Now, what I don't understand about this is when Patterson came back in January, he didn't get booed. The fans were cheering his name. Obafemi does it, though, and gets booed. What's the correlation? I don't really understand. I did boo him, I clapped him. People got their opinions, but at the end of the day, Obafemi, he probably would have wanted to move to Burnley. I would have wanted to move to Burnley as well. But better paycheck, more chance of Premier League football, playing under Premier League legend into the company. But, he needs to get his head back into the frame of mind. Obviously, he's away with Ireland now for 2 weeks. Hopefully, he can score a few goals for Ireland and see where that takes us. But for me, the way we're playing right now, even if Obafemi was on full confidence, he wouldn't be starting for me. He's not a great start of the season. Of course, he scored that great goal against Millwall. But, Blackpool got a very good assist. But, Rotherham, that opening game of the season, missed a set of cost us points there. Against Stoke, when he came on, he was terrible. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Obafemi. I wouldn't be against selling him in January, but at the moment, with Liam Cullen out injured, Obafemi's just a backup at the moment, which is pretty mental. Luke Cundall looked very good yesterday, so glad he's got his chance. Yeah, of course, we've still got Finn Stevens and Armstrong all flex to come into the system as well. So yeah, depth-wise, we're looking good. Again, a few injuries with Allen, Latabordia, Walsh, and Cullen at the moment, but having this 2-week international break will help us massively. Obviously, Cabango's on international duty, Olivier Njab's on international duty. Cameron Congreve's away with the Wales under 18s as well, even though he's not been part of the first team for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, only a few players away, so it shouldn't be really too bad. Dave says he'd love Nathan Jones as manager. Cannot see it happening, as he will go for the cheapest option as possible. Remember, Morrison was the lowest paid manager in the league. I did not know that. Very interesting, that. Again, I don't think they'll be able to afford Nathan Jones, as silly as it sounds, unless Jones resigns as Luton manager. But for me, Cardiff, I can probably see again someone like, again, Steven Schumacher from Plymouth would be a fantastic signing for Cardiff in terms of the manager. Does really well with young players. We've seen Morgan Whittaker's at Plymouth. He's having a very good season there. Yeah, I'd go for, if I was Cardiff, I'd go for either Jones or Schumacher, to be honest. Big month coming up. Yeah, we've got some tough games. We've got West Brom and Watford away back-to-back. Tough. Then we've got Sunderland home as well. So that should be a very good atmosphere in that one. Expecting nothing. Look at Leicester, 1.7 games. Harrison Rodgers. Rodgers got a huge payoff, though. I think if they got a sack, they've got to pay over £10 million. So that's the only reason Rodgers probably hasn't gone yet, mate. What do I think of Cundle? To be fair, obviously he's not started a game for us, but yes, it was his first breakout period as a Swansea player. Obviously, the goal, it's a pretty easy finish at the end of the day, but there was a chance after the 2-0 where he flicked it over the defender. Pros running through and God, it was a great attack from the Hull defender. But yeah, he looks very, very good. Like I said, that West Brom away game, he's going to be up for as a Wolves player, essentially, with them being rivals of West Brom, like Swans Cardiff, for example. But yeah, very, very good. Just adds a bit more quality as well. Obviously, very excited. And again, just shows how much better youngsters can do than the senior pros and Jim and Patterson. It's pretty mental. Was that the game? Well-deserved win. Those 3 crossbar misses was restrained. Definitely, like you said, could have been 6-0. Yeah, especially with goal difference not being great. 6-0 would have been fantastic, but you can't really complain with a 3-0 in the Championship. Hull on paper have got very good players. Time of recording yesterday, they had the top scorer in the Championship. He got substituted off. They had players like Cyrus Christie, who we know from last season, a very, very good player. Obviously, Jean-Michel Seri has been in the Premier League and done it before with Fulham. So, yeah, on paper, their squad was ridiculously good, but yeah, you could say it was a mixture of us being good and them being crap, but you just got to beat what's in front of you at the end of the day. Yeah, it was a year ago today since I come back into Luton. I still believe that Henry Lansbury didn't get sent off. Yeah, ridiculous, but what a comeback that was. And again, guess who scored off the bench that one? Olivier Ntcham. Well, what do I think about Ntcham's work rate? Seems to be getting lazy as the games goes on. Again, yeah, we're worried about this. Celtic fans warned us that on his day, he's a terrific player. He's hardly any better in the Championship when he's on his day, but his day only comes one round once every couple of months. And, West Brom way last season, we saw off the bench, fantastic. And we saw it a few times this season, but again, as soon as he starts, he's just really poor. And again, you need players like Cooper, Cundle, who will be making a difference every single minute of the game. And then Ntcham, unfortunately, can't do that. So again, if offer comes in for him in January, I'd be happy to take it. Same with Patterson. Like when Patterson came in last season, I said in my video that I didn't want to sign him. I thought he was lazy, average player. And again, even though it took a year, I've been proven right. I clapped him in Patterson, then get back, stepped in for Aaron really well. Burnley, yeah, I'm not going to get my score list for Cardiff yet. There's too much. You don't even know who Cardiff manager's going to be. It's ridiculous. But yeah, keep the questions coming in. 21 people watching. Really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and check out the vlog yesterday if you haven't already. But yeah, in terms of the lineup yesterday, on paper it looked a bit negative. Faulkner's a bit more advanced. But like I said, Allen get injured. Looks like a hamstring injury, so that probably rule him out between 2 to 3 weeks. So obviously definitely will be out of the Wales games 100%. Cabango, of course, he'll be called up for Wales. Again, it's a Nations League, so it's not a dead rubber, but it's not that important. I know Nations League helps you with qualification for the World Cup and Euros, but look, we're already in the World Cup in December. Now the next 2 games is probably where you want to test things out ahead of the World Cup. Of course, we might have 1 or 2, warm-up friendly games where they could get out soon. But for me, you look at the centre-back options. Cabango's had a decent start to the season. Regardless of that Middlesbrough game when he got sent off stupidly, I think he's had a decent start to the season. So I'd like to see Cabango play at least 1 game. Can't see it, to be fair, though. But it's always nice to get a Swans playing the Welsh squad. Thoughts on the new Wales kits? I like them, to be fair. £65 a bit steep, though. I will be getting it, though, but they just don't have my size at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. One quick sip of my drink. But yeah, 3-0 against Hull. 3 wins in 10 games, not great. But you look at the Championship. Championship's one of the hardest leagues that get consistency. This time last season, we were just getting 0-0 draws. Obviously, very inconsistent. Like I said, we were 3-0 down to Luton this time last year. Obviously got a draw. But I'm liking what I'm seeing at the moment. Defensively looking a lot more sharper. Again, still a bit mistakes, especially with Norton Tuesday night. But 1 goal conceded in 3 games. 4 goals scored in 3. 2 clean sheets in 3. Big Big changes from the manager, bringing in the new goalkeeper, Stephen Bender instead of Andy Fisher. Bringing Perot back into the lineup instead of playing him out wide and keeping him up front. Obviously, Femi getting dropped, Ollie Cooper getting opportunities, Entrim and Patterson starting less, Fault getting more opportunities. Big talking point I want to talk about though, guys, is Harry Darling. Now, he was a big summer signing, £1.4 million, obviously rising up to about 2 million in add-ons with appearance-based fees as well. Started the first couple of games, I thought he did pretty well. Obviously got that rocket of a goal against Rotherham United on the opening day. Looked very decent defensively, got dropped, hasn't been given an opportunity since. Let me know down below, what do you think of Harry Darling? Now, for me, I think he's had a decent start of the season, but he just can't get a game at the moment. Obviously, Norton and Cabango basically guaranteed start, as Cabango obviously has been first teamer for Swans for a number of seasons now. Fantastic player. Obviously, really, really does well in this Martin system. Norton, 33 years old, still doing it. Obviously, Tuesday night was a bit of a blow, really, with that mistake, but just oozes class. Sorry, someone keeps ringing me. It's annoying. I'll have to do a notification off in a minute. But as I was saying, Norton 33 oozes quality. Cabango, first teamer for a number of weeks now, looks fantastic. So the only other player you could really drop Darling for was Nathan Wood. Both summer signings. Of course, Darling cost a lot more than Wood, but Wood has been very, very good, must I say. Considering this is Nathan Wood's first proper spell in senior football, where he went to Hibernian, only made one appearance, only made a handful of appearances for Mansfield, and Wood looks terrific. And I think we've got a very, very good defender there, so fair play to the scouts getting him. But for me, Darling, when you bought a player for that much, you've got to be playing him. But, I really want to see Darling back into the team sooner rather than right. I'm gonna have to refresh this because my thing keeps thing. Right, let's do that. Hopefully that'll be a bit better now. But as I was saying, we're playing this back five system at the minute. Obviously, Cernola on the right hand side, Manning on the left, Grimes, Allen, Fulton, Cooper, Perot. So it's not bad. It's not bad, to be fair. Let's dive into a few more comments then. I don't understand why we've dropped Darling, but Wood has been decent though. Yeah, I can understand. Well, I can't understand why Darling got dropped, but yeah, Wood has been very, very good. Again, young player, tall, and just adds a lot of physicality into the team. So I do like Nathan Wood, but again, Darling costs so much money. You'd like him to start. We weren't lucky at all with that win. I don't know what game you were watching. Oh, to be fair, you have said they're shocking. Nah, I disagree, Andrew. First couple of games we could say was poor. I think shit's a bit harsh. Last couple of games he's been excellent. Got an assist yesterday for the first goal. He's got the most assists for the club at the moment too. No other player for us has more at the moment. First couple of games, yeah, you could argue he's poor, but he's been really, really good. Really, really good recently. So hopefully he can continue it. So we are going to open up the lines. If we do want to get in the chat and let me know what you thought of yesterday's win, and obviously in this international break, what do you like to see the Swans working on in training? Then let me know. There will be a match preview for Wales and watch-longs and match reviews as well for Wales. We'll be bringing the international content back as well. Going to be a lot more consistent. It's been quite a difficult period for the channel with me starting a full-time job and having a part-time job on the side, so 2 jobs, and obviously trying to get my YouTube content in, obviously trying to get to as many Swans games as possible, but I am trying my best, and obviously your support is appreciated. So I will be doing a lot of content this week, so there'll be Wales match previews, watch-longs, match reviews as well. There definitely will be 2 watch-longs, by the way. I'm not working on both days. We're not playing, so thankfully. So yeah, I've put the StreamYard link in. Make sure you click the link, join, put your camera on when you're talking as well, and we'll talk about whatever you want. But of course, the main talk about Swansea City 3, Hull City 0 yesterday. Very, very good performance for us. Hull were poor. Good to see Christie back at the Sunday.com stadium. Though a few boos. Like, why do people boo these players? Like, Christie at the Swans was terrific. Give it all. Was part of history, beating Cardiff 4-0, being part of the team who the first ever South Wales derby double in a season. and people boo him. It's like, why? All right, he didn't come back because, we couldn't afford him, or, the wages weren't good enough. But at the end of the day, if we give Christie what he wanted, he would have joined. So it wasn't the case that Christie didn't want to join. It's just the offer wasn't good enough. And, fair play. If he wants to go to Hull, you can. Let's just stop booing players because they didn't join us. Let's just clap him, give him a bit of recognition for what he did for us last season. But you got idiots booing him. Same with Brewster against Sheffield United on Tuesday night. Brewster, 10 goals in, I think it was 20 league games for Swansea City, helped us get to the playoffs in Steve Cooper's first season, and they boo him. What? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But the link is in the chat. There is the link if anyone wants to join. Please do join. It would be appreciated. Andrew Williams says Hull were abysmal. Yeah, they were very poor, but they have had some impressive results this season. They beat Norwich 2-1. They beat Bristol City as well, who've had a very, very good start of the season. But yeah, they were very poor, to be fair. They also did have the league's top scorer as well, so we kept him quiet, which was always nice to do as well. But yeah, Manning, I want to talk about him a little bit as well. Can't believe he's not been called up to the Irish squad. The annoying thing for me is when Manning does get called up to the Irish squad, he never plays. But I understand you got James McLean, Robbie Brady, Manning all playing the same position. I know you can only really have two players in that position, but James McLean and Roy Brady aren't out defenders in the left back role. So why wouldn't you, as Stephen Kenny, have one of McLean Brady who is a bit more attacking, and have Manning who is a defender who can play attacking? Doesn't make any sense to me. Why have two left wing backs who are vertically the same, especially with Brady and McLean taking set pieces as well? But then Manning, who is a fullback by trait, not get called up. No wonder why Stephen Kenny gets criticised all the time. I can understand why Obafemi got called up. I know he's not been great, but obviously English strikers aren't having a great season. Troy Parrott at Preston has hardly scored a goal. But yeah, we will get Curtis in. Obviously, the true Jack. We'll get him in and see what he has to say in 2 seconds. Has Congreve been binned after the rugby performance? Yeah, so since he got hooked off after half hour against Middlesbrough, which was harsh, especially being 18 years of age, making his league debut for this season. Obviously, he played a couple of games last season, but obviously, first start this season, gets hooked, hasn't been on the bench since, played the under-23s. But for me, I'd rather have Congreve on the bench and Patterson and Encham. We'll get Curtis in as well. Hello.
What's going on? All right?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? You good?
Good, thanks, yeah.
What did you think of yesterday's win then?
Oh, easy win. It was men's versus boys.
Say again,
It
sorry?
was men's versus boys. We could have had 6.
Yeah, it was very, very good, to be fair. I can't hear you for some reason. It might be my audio.
What is that?
Can people hear Curtis? Let me know. I don't know. I can't hear you for some reason.
Can people hear me or not?
Let's see if I can try and sort that out.
Sure, people can.
Can people hear Curtis in the chat? Let me know if you can hear him. I can't hear him for some reason. Let me see if I can... it might be my settings. 2 seconds.
I mean, my mic's on.
Edit mic settings. Right. Try and speak now.
Yeah, I mean, my mic's on, isn't it? So.
I can hear you, but it's... Yeah, I think I can hear you a bit better now. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. I was going to say as well, it was men's versus boys. We hit the woodwork 3 times. We could have had 6 goals.
Yeah, what did you think of the first half performance? Obviously, we didn't score in the first half, but what did you think of the first half? Because I thought it was probably our best 45 of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Hull offered nothing. I mean, Jean-Michel Seri had a long-range effort saved by Stephen Bender. We hit the crossbar twice. And Danny Baxter made a good save as well.
Yeah, and obviously Baxter making a mistake second half. But yeah, Perot this season, obviously after the first couple of games, a bit slow to start off with, but how impressive have you been since, especially since the transfer window's ended? How impressed are you with Perot?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with him now. Very impressed.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Yeah, so obviously Perot, do you think Do you think we'll be able to keep on to him until the end of the season?
Hopefully, but like Martin says, we have to sell another key player to sign more players.
Yeah, welcome to the chat, DeGuzzi. Welcome to the chat.
Right,
so we'll
Abram.
answer some questions. So, Curtis, are you optimistic about the next couple of games after recent performances?
Oh yeah, hopefully. I'm quite optimistic against West Brom. We beat West Brom away last season. Obviously, I'm going up to the Hawthorns. This is my 4th visit up there.
Yeah, did you go last season? I'm sure you did because I was
Yeah. It was a Monday night game, and I went.
Yeah, I remember that West Brom were very poor in that game, and rumours are to believe that Steve Bruce will continue in charge. So,
Yeah,
obviously, do you think it could be Steve Bruce's last game against us? Because I think it's toxic at the Hawthorns at the minute.
If we beat them, it will.
Yeah, hello, because like I said as well. So yeah, the next two games at the international break. West Brom, Watford away. What do you think of those two? Do you think we can get anything out of those two games?
Well, Watford fans are asking questions about Rob Edwards, their manager, and I think we could nick a point at the minute. But they got a very dangerous squad, though, haven't they? They got like Ismail Assar, haven't they, and João Pedro to watch.
Yeah, they're a very, very dangerous side, and obviously Ben Hamer is obviously at Watford, but I don't think he's not even playing in the cup, so he won't be playing.
Nah, he's not. He's like 34 now, isn't he?
Yeah. So, who do you think? Obviously, I think I know who you're going to say, but who's been your most impressive player so far this season?
Oh well, I got to say Joe Perreault is up there, but I'm going to put Ollie Cooper up there.
Joel Perreault, 2 seconds.
Yeah, and there's. I've got to mention Ollie Cooper though.
What about Ryan Manning? For me,
Manning. Oh, Manning's been absolutely superb. How is he not in the Irish squad?
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like I said, obviously, I think Ireland play a back 3, so obviously they play a left wing back. Obviously, they've got McLean and Brady who've been called up. I can understand those two, but like both of those are both natural wingers. So why wouldn't you have to defend that as a wing back as well? It's weird.
I know. Well, obviously Michael Obafemi's in here. They got a lack of strikers. He's got a magnificent goal against Scotland in the last international break, didn't he?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I was on holiday watching that. I was celebrating like he was one of Wales' players.
Yeah, I would love to see Michael Obafemi do that for us this season.
Yeah, difficult start for Obafemi this season. What do you think? Yes. Obviously, hindsight's a brilliant thing. Would you have let him go to Burnley? And I know the price wasn't right, but if the right offer came in, so let's say it was a decent offer, maybe not what we wanted, but would you have let him leave, especially with no replacements potentially coming in?
Well, tough one to call, very tricky one to call, but someone could come in for him in the winter. You've got the winter transfer window as well. But it's a tough one to call for me because Liam Cullen's out injured as well, isn't he?
Did you agree with the boos for him yesterday, though? There was a handful of Swansea fans who booed him. I thought it was a disgrace, to be fair.
No, I disagree with the boos. Even I clapped him when he was on.
I don't mind booing after like a terrible performance when he paid hard in money, but for me, we're 3-0 up on live TV, playing brilliant football. Look, maybe he wanted to leave, maybe he didn't. But at the end of the day, the window's finished. He's our player. Yeah. Let's just get behind him.
Yeah, exactly. Like Patterson, he was not happy with the contract in January. He wanted to leave in, and then since we kept hold of him, we cheered for him then, and he went back in the squad against Blackburn, and we won 1-0, and then Obafemi scored in that game as well, the header. He got the assist.
Yeah, the thing is with Obafemi, it's so frustrating because first half of last season, until January, I believe he scored 1 goal, which was away to
Birmingham. Yeah.
And then second half of the season, then obviously scoring 2 against Cardiff, and second half of last season, he was probably one of the most informed players in the Championship. And we all thought this was the season where Obafemi was going to kick on have a full season. And against Rotherham, he did miss a setup, but looked bright. And
oh, that's criminal!
It's just like he's gone back to his old self, his attitude problems. It's really frustrating, isn't it?
That miss against Rotherham was absolutely criminal, I've got to say. Oh, he just squared it to the keeper, didn't he?
And it's frustrating because, we should be so much higher than where we are because we've had some really good performances this season. Granted, when we've played poor, we have been very poor. For example, like Middlesbrough and Luton and Blackburn. But, Millwall, where we were fantastic for 92 minutes.
Oh, no, don't.
Rotherham, I thought we played really well in the second half. Probably should have won with the chances we've had. Again, 2 points dropped.
I know.
Stoke away, I thought we played really well in Stoke's match's first game. 93 goal. It's just so frustrating. I know this happens to every team, but it just seems to happen to us all the time.
I know, it's common. And if we held on to wins against Millwall and Stoke, and we held on to a draw against Sheffield United, we would have been top 6. We would be top 6.
Now I know I've said Martin out after Oxford, and I know I'm quite judgmental on Martin, but I have turned my thing because he's changed it round. So, what's your thoughts on Martin at the minute then?
Well, after the Oxford defeat, I was not very convinced in him. But then when we beat Blackpool, my faith was in him again, and I'm backing him again now. I've always backed him. I was not Martin out yet after we beat Oxford, but when we beat Blackpool, I'm fine with him.
Yeah, again, I still think he's got his struggles in management, like the treatment of youngsters like Cameron Congreve at times, but no manager's perfect, like.
Nah.
So, do you have any more comments then before we get someone else on?
Nah, doesn't look like.
We'll show out your channel then before I get someone else on. Where can people find you, mate?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Curtis to Jack, fellow Swansea vlogger to Reese. And yeah, I'm nearly 1.3k subs. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. And I know Curtis will be making the trip to West Brom. So look out for his vlog in that one.
Yeah, nice one, Reese.
Yeah, cheers. I'll speak to you later, pal. Yeah, thanks very much, Curtis, for coming on. I couldn't hear him for the first couple of minutes, but I changed my settings so I could hear him then. Yeah, Curtis, go subscribe to him. We've got two people away. We've got Nathan and Mike. We'll get Nathan on because I think he's been waiting a bit longer than Mike. So we'll get him on. I'm sure he's going to be very interested to talk about Steve Morrison and his sacking this afternoon. Hello, Nathan.
Here we go. Thanks for having me back on once again, you know. 2 Madries in and I'm still not over it, to be honest. I know you're absolutely going to love that comment, aren't you? But,
it's mental, innit? Well, let's just start off with Cardiff season so far. Don't think it's been as bad as some people have made out to be. What do you think?
The thing is, it's up to the first international break, and like between then and now, and sort of even towards before Christmas, as long as we build up a slight good rapport, improve things from last season, get the players gelling a little bit, and to be as long as we get a result against you guys coming up, because we desperately need something, then I wasn't too bothered, because considering the style of play change, the amount of players that have come in, then at the end of the day, it's going to take time. But once again, the complete incompetence and lunacy from upstairs that we have seen for the last 10 years has once again struck. And when I saw the news come up on my screen earlier today, I thought it was one of those fake Twitter accounts.
Yeah, I thought that.
But I went onto it and I was absolutely furious. I honestly, I'm done with them now. I am absolutely done with them. And that's not even an understatement.
It's so strange. Obviously, I know you've had the derby loss to Bristol City where you were poor, but you beat Norwich, opening game of the season. Obviously, Norwich were poor, don't get me wrong, but, you know, look where they are now. Middlesbrough away midweek. Yes, they've had a great start season. We're going away to Middlesbrough 3-0 at half-time.
Nice, tough place to go.
Fantastic. West Brom away on paper, great result. Probably could have won that game, actually. Poor refereeing as well, after seeing your vlog in that one. But I just can't believe, obviously, yesterday's loss against Huddersfield, but, you know, Huddersfield just had a manager. There's going to be a manager bounce. Of course, if that penalty goes in, don't know what Robertson's doing with that no look penalty, by the way. But do you think something's gone on behind the scenes? Because it's weird, the sack of our performances. When we're 10 games in, we're only a few points off the playoffs. You're only a point behind us. Do you think something's gone on behind the scenes?
For me, because it's actually been reported on Wales Online as well earlier today, even though everyone knows how patchy they are as a source, it was straight up a performance decision, which I just find complete and utter ludicrous. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous considering, I mean, once again, I think apparently it was from Vincent Tan as well, the decision came from. He's done it over and over again. I mean, we saw it when we're back in the Premier League, when he came out with this nonsensical comment about why hasn't David Marshall scored any goals. It's just, I mean, the old man's coming in and having a moan now, saying it's just complete nonsense.
That was false.
It was true, though.
No, it wasn't.
He's even going off. Okay, nice one. Anyway. Anyway, back. What was I saying? It's just like, the thing is, we've given him time and time again, and to allow him the opportunity to work from his mistakes. We got it with the Red. We nearly forced him out of the club. We were putting on protests every week. Right, we're going to do this, and this, until you either revert or leave the club. In the end, he did revert back. And then with the decisions leading on from there. And now it's just come to this again. And I could probably speak from about 95% of the fans at this point that this is the final straw for us. To be honest, whatever comes through now, whoever manager we get or anything, it's not going to change our mind that after now with these diabolical decisions, he needs to go at this point.
It's so strange as well. He's been in the job less than a year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd probably say this is like, it's not, but I feel like this is his first proper season because it's his squad. Obviously, the overhaul came with a lot of experienced players like Volks, Park, another, Morrison as well. Obviously, got their injury, but still. And like, you've seen so many players, it's not going to happen overnight. It's like, does Vincent Tan know about football? It's like any person with a sensible football brain knows that if you've got an overhaul of a squad, you're not going to see good results until the end of the season. Where for example, we had Martin. Obviously, it took a while, but because it's towards the end of the season. So, what do they expect? Do they expect 50 new players to gel straight away? It's like, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it seems to happen. I mean, because when he actually gave Morrison the full-time job and gave him the extension, Tan said he was welcomed by the change in style of play and that it looked a lot prettier. And I was like, okay, yes, he is watching the games, even though he hasn't been to one since we were in the Premier League. And I'm just looking to now, and then he just completely pulls the plug on it after we lose a couple of games and are in exactly the same position. It's just completely ridiculous. I know he doesn't fully engage and he leaves it up to Mehmet Dalman and Chu. Now, my opinions on Mehmet Dalman are very strong, and I still think he should have gone absolutely years ago. And the stupid comment that came out last year saying, "Oh, we didn't expect that the football would take this much effort on the pitch, and it was just behind the scenes we need to run." No, it's just a complete nonsense. I mean, he looks at it now, comes out with all this stupid stuff. And even his sister team in KV Kortrijk, whatever you call them back in Belgium, they're even doing weekly protests to get him out now after he just fails to back them, makes stupid decisions. And from when he took over, they're in an even worse position. I mean, I don't know what step to take forward. And the protests are definitely coming back for our next game, 100%. And the ban is coming out again, which it's just infuriating to see.
Yeah, it's like with us, we've got a problem with the owners, but we can't really do a protest because they don't come to the games. They're all the way in the States. But I know Vincent Tan goes to basically every game. And I remember when Cardiff played Swansea last
he hasn't been to one of our games since actually the Premier League. It's the board that still goes. And
it's the board then, because obviously we've only got Julian Winter, really. But I remember there's someone in your board who came on your bus when you went to Swansea when he said McCarthy out. It's like, it's so unprofessional, isn't it?
It is. They literally do not have a clue. And it goes decision after decision. I mean, the list of mistakes and bad decisions that they have made, you could fill an entire book with them. I mean, the fans aren't a fan of the management. They aren't a fan of the owner. They aren't even a fan of the stadium. They aren't a fan of the crest. They aren't a fan of the kits. They don't like the way that the club is progressing. There's just a list longer than their arm. There isn't anything that I can think of that our fans are happy about at the moment or have been since we got relegated. I mean, I don't need to be negative, and the only positive thing I can take is we were looking forward to this change in philosophy and moving forward, but now that's just all gone out the window. Like, it's been a bad 10 years, even bad 20, I could say, ever since Hammam and Ridsdale took it in charge, but this has got to top it for me, and I'm at my last straw of them now. It's completely ridiculous.
Obviously, Neil Warnock was a huge, Cardiff hero, essentially. Obviously, gaining promotion and doing well in the Premier League, where you were pretty unfortunate to survive, actually, with some of the terrible referee decisions, like Chelsea, for example, which I still can't believe. But I feel like Morrison, obviously, I feel like he's the first manager since Warnock who really had the fans together. There was hardly any, Morrison's outshouts. He feels like, even after a bad result, he, would win the next one and get the fans on this side, obviously doing the Ayatollah and, giving a fist bump to the crowd. And I feel like, he reunited your fans. The atmosphere of the Cardiff games are pretty decent, actually, as well, after, last season of dull football, obviously, But even last season, where you had nothing to play for, you're still getting a lot of fans going and, getting some good performances. So it just feels like the board have just shot themselves in the foot, really.
Exactly, and that's what they've been doing for the last 10 years. Like, after we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer leaving the club, that was at the all-time low. He was abysmal, and just the split in the fan base was just absolutely incredible. Everyone was angry. Had a few. You get the positive ones, of course, but at the end of the day, the fan base were divided. It took years for that to fix. Russell Slade, even though it was just mid-table mediocrity, and even then that was about 11th place. He slowly cleared the debt and got this book stabled for Trollope to come in and get removed straight away. Thank God that was over. And Warnock to reunite the fan base. But the second that he left on mutual consent after things didn't go well and he had a completely ridiculous transfer window after we got relegated. And then we just have the likes of Harris, McCarthy, just absolutely stick a bomb in uniting the fans and just make them completely divided again and against the club, which completely the wrong move completely. And for me, they have to go now. They really there's no turning back from this for me at all.
Well, they've got to get an appointment before your next game. Who is your next game after the international break?
I believe I haven't actually checked because I was mainly focusing on.
I know you're going to be home because we're away and we're never home, so you're going to be home to someone.
Oh, it's against Burnley.
Wow, that's not an easy one to do, is it?
No, I don't know what to say with that. I don't even know if there's going to be a new manager bounce. But at the end of the day, it's just about who we get in and what the response from our fans will be.
That is going to be my next question. Who is your? I know you maybe not feeling it, but who is your number one choice to take over?
What a question! What a
question.
question.
For me, if I was a Cardiff fan, I'd either want Nathan Jones, which is obviously it's obviously easy answer. Yeah. Would cost a lot of money, but he's a Cardiff boy, run that area from the valleys, and even when he played against Swansea, Cardiff, you can see his passion, and I feel like he'd be a right crowd favourite. And obviously, he's down in the Championship. Obviously, with him leaving Luton before to go to Stoke, a similar club with Cardiff with a decent history at Championship level, it didn't work out. And obviously, the other name I'm going to say is probably Stephen Schumacher for Plymouth, third in the league, very good with young players, upcoming, similar to Ryan Lowe. And I think with your squad, with the age there is, I think that'd be a great signing in. Obviously, will cost money, but who would you go for?
I gotta agree with you. My number one would obviously be Nathan Jones, but for me, I can't see them paying out for him at all. Like A, the release clause, and B, the wages. Like as I said earlier in your comments, Morrison was the lowest paid manager in the league for a reason, and it just goes to show they're not going to put the faith in him as well. And then obviously with Schumacher, I've been really impressed with what he's been doing at Plymouth. Yeah, absolute quality. But at the end of the day, is he going to leave Plymouth? He could probably see from the outside.
He turned on Huddersfield apparently as well.
Yeah, exactly. And they're in a much better position from above than what we are, 100%. And he could probably see from a mile the amount of problems that we are in at the moment. And looking at other ones that have been suggested as well, Warnock, that's completely out of the window for me. Yeah. Tan obviously won't have him back. Scott Parker, I want nowhere near the club for obvious reasons.
No, overrated. He is so overrated.
Exactly. And the style of play would just be a complete disaster there as well, considering he's allergic to managing defences as well. And then another one that's come around a lot is Sean Dyche. I know. 4 points with that. A, they're not going to pay his wages. B, they want to move away from the style of play that we mentioned from a few years ago. C, he can once again see the problems we have above. And D,
he'll go to West Brom anyway. He'll go to West Brom. He'll go somewhere with their money.
Steve Bruce hasn't got long left, but
I know. I've seen Mark Hughes' name being mentioned.
I don't know what you mean by I know me.
Even Siri's not happy with that one.
I've seen Mark Hughes' name being mentioned as well from Bradford.
Yeah, I can't see Sparky. I really can't see it. And not only that, he's a sacking waiting to happen because he has to bring in his own players, his own philosophy as well. He's one of those managers. We saw it when he was at Stoke as well. And for me, that won't work, and he'll demand the big wages. But it's going to be a long international break for me. And I think it'll still be Mark Hudson, former club captain, in charge of interim, of course, for the Burnley game. And if I'm honest, I don't think he's the move forward either. He's mainly sort of first team coach, assistant manager for me. And he will be the cheap option. And it'll only be going around to January, February, where he starts to bomb down the table, ruin the reputation that he has with the owners, and that'll be another club legend upset by the club, which there are a lot of them now.
Well, anyway, I appreciate you coming on. Really
No
good
worries,
chat.
thanks for having me
We'll be very interested to see what happens here. Obviously Wales are coming up, so your focus can be on that. But
Yeah.
I'll be definitely keeping an eye on what happens with you, because I've seen a few players as well, like a few tweets about the ridiculous sacking of Morrison. So it'll be
Absolutely.
interesting. Do you show your channel? Where can people find you and all that stuff?
Yeah, NWM. Type just those 3 letters in the search. Wales content will be out this week. In better times, something I can be positive about. There'll be a live stream on Tuesday, and then the vlog on Sunday. I mean, I don't know why I
Tuesday,
said
we're playing on
Saturday then.
Thursday.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, Thursday and Sunday.
My timing has gone completely out the window, honestly. But yeah, I will be at the match Sunday, guys. I'll be in the Canton as usual. So that vlog will be out Sunday night. So make sure to check it out, guys.
Yeah, cheers. Catch you later.
Awesome. See you later.
Right, from one managerial sack into a guy who might want this manager out. Right, we got Newport County fan Mike Green, who, let's just say, was not happy after their 2-0 loss to Barrow yesterday afternoon. Hello.
Well. James Rowbury fucking out. That's what I want. Get me on.
Rowbury out now, are you?
Yeah, completely. He's clueless, mate. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing. Substitutions again. We went 2-0 down in the 59th minute. His first sub was the 69th minute. 10 minutes after we go 2-0 down, he brought a centre back on for a midfielder. He took our best player off in James Waite, who was, trying. Yes, well, to be fair, we were awful. We were absolutely awful. But James Waite was trying to create things. He was trying to play the little intricate 1-2s to Bogle. Bogle, I think, is our best player. I think he could be off in January if this continues, because Bogle is so good. He's big, 6'4". He's stocky, but his close control, his footwork is unreal for a tall striker. He brings the ball down and then he flicks it around the corner. But yeah, he hasn't got a clue. The transfers that he saw, half of the transfers that he made, he either benches them or they're injured.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. You were listing through the players he signed, and half of them are not even starting at the minute.
Yeah, Aaron Wilding he signed was in injury prone. He's injured. Zanzala he signed is injury prone. He's injured. Will Evans he's benched. Declan Drysdale he said he's after the Sutton game. He said Drysdale's going to be the main part of our defence alongside Dimitro this season. Then just don't see him again. I mean, our official club captain doesn't even start, Matty Dolan. So what? I don't get why you would.
Sounds like a mess from the outside.
I don't know why you would give Matty Dolan the club captain if you know he's never going to play. Dimitro is the captain every game, but he's not the actual official club captain. So our captain doesn't play. Our best signings don't play. Sam Bowen as well. Sam Bowen, who I thought was unbelievable in the first couple of games of the season, doesn't play. Chanka Zimba again doesn't play. And these are all players that Rowbury signed. Look, Cardiff have just sacked their manager. James Rowbury was at Cardiff as an under-23s manager. Want him back, Cardiff. You can take him.
Yes, it's an interesting one, because you didn't do too bad at the season. You were getting a few decent results, and obviously, but it just seems weird, doesn't it? It's like you can't defend. You're not scoring enough goals. It just seems to be the same mistakes every game, and Rowbury's not learning. So where do you go from here?
We're 23rd in the league on home form as well.
Yeah, you've got to win your home games in any league. Home games is where it's most important, really.
Yeah, like I said, whatever the fact that we're better away from home than at home is good for the travelling fans going away to the away games. Get to obviously because it's always better winning away when you're going away and watching the game than at home, obviously, because you're travelling all that way. But I was actually looking at our sort of results this season. The Sutton game, we were probably lucky to get a draw. The Bradford game, which the games that we picked up points, the Tranmere game, we were awful and we basically won it through a penalty. Otherwise, we would have drew that. Sutton, we probably should have lost that. And okay, Harrogate, we were insane against Harrogate. That they're awful as well, but that was an unbelievable performance. But the thing that's more annoyed me is we've seen Rochdale sack their manager, and we've seen Hartlepool and Colchester sack their managers today. So all three of them are going to have a new manager bounce in the next couple of months. We've got our next three games are awful. We've got Carlisle next week, who are very, very, very good under Paul Simpson. Then we've got Leyton Orient, who haven't lost a game all season, 9 wins out of 10. And then we've got Rochdale in what could be a 6-pointer. We could be bottom of the league by then.
It's mental because last season Newport have been up there challenging under Michael Flynn. Obviously, with Rowbury last season, it was kind of a.
Like I said, Rowbury hasn't improved us.
No, it's gone backwards.
Yeah, we have gone backwards. Yeah, when Flynn left, the funny thing about when Flynn left, he literally said, "I could get this team to the playoffs again," but basically hinted at the fact that we got robbed in 2 playoff finals, sort of basically saying, I've taken them as far as I think I can take them. And what he's doing at Walsall is probably what... I don't think he's going to ever get a team out of the league. I think can get you to a playoff final. I just don't think he's got that extra bit. But Rowbury, like you said, and you're completely right, we've not got any better. In fact, we've got worse.
Yeah, Kirk said he feels your pain having some clueless managers like Bob Bradley. Yeah, we'll wonder about that, Kirk. But yeah, Newport, you don't have an international break, do you, League Two? So you're straight back into action next week, isn't it?
Well, we've got the Papa John's Trophy on Tuesday, which normally I would generally say forget
that's
it.
That's a big game, isn't it? That's a big game.
We've got Forest Green, who are obviously a League One side. Obviously played them last season, decent side. If they... I normally I would say I don't care about it, but now I'm saying I actually want to see the first team play because we need to win a game. We just need to get back to, because we've lost 3 on the bounce, lost our last 2 home games. If you can just get a win, we've got Leicester in November. I mean, it could be to a point where they're bottom of the Premier League, we're bottom of League Two. and you know what we're like in cups. It'd be just like us to go and beat them. So and our best games this season have both been in the cup against Luton and Portsmouth.
Do you think it's a case of Rowbury, not making tough decisions, or not? Is he one to publicly criticise players after the games, or does he usually blame the ref for himself?
Absolutely. Yesterday, when I done that stream, as you know,
yeah, I go watch the second half, watch the first hour, and then I fell asleep.
I did put towards the end of the stream, I put his press conference on screen and we reacted to it on stream. And some of the things that he was saying in that 4 minutes, oh my goodness, he was saying that the first few minutes, it was like, well, we've got to learn on individual mistakes. 20 seconds later, it's like, well, in training, we've got to learn on the individual errors leading to goals. So I was like, okay, he's addressed that. And then towards the end of it, they said, how do you move on from this sort of thing? And he was like, well, we need to focus on training and focus on how we can cut out these individual errors. And he's just blaming everyone but himself. He even mentioned that he's got 2 daughters to provide for. I was like, what?
What's that got to do with... What's that got to do with 90 minutes against Barrow? That's what you're paid to do, mate. You're paid to do your job. If you're not good enough, forget about your family. If you're not good enough to manage.
Yeah, I thought someone said...
He's trying to play the sympathy card, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it was Chris Welch in the comments yesterday said that I think he's over-promoted. I think he could be a good coach or a good assistant manager, but I just don't think he's a manager. And even in the press conferences, he's looking at the floor. He's, looking over there. Just the body language is just not there. Look, I said Rowbury out, and I know you said Russell Martin out after Oxford, and
yeah,
that's changed since. But even if this changes, I still will back my decision because I just don't see any consistency. Like, we could go and win 4 games on the spin, but then it would be like, well, look, go and lose 2. There's like after Bradford, we drew to Sutton, lost to Walsall and Bradford, and then we went and won 4 games on the spin, including Portsmouth. I think it was Portsmouth, Exeter, Tranmere and Harrogate. Won 4 on the spin, and then the next 3 lost. Grimsby, Stevenage and obviously Barrow. So there's no consistency.
Yes, it's a strange one, isn't it? Obviously, again, teams around you are sacking their manager, so if you get a bad result next week against Carlisle, do you think he'll go?
Personally, I say give him the Carlisle game. I know it. A lot of people said, sack him now, and I'm 90% saying, well, I want him to go eventually. I think he will go eventually, but I want to see what he does against Forest Green. If he goes with a rotated squad against Forest Green, then he's got to go, because surely against Forest Green you've got to just put your best squad out to just try and get a win, to get the players' sort of confidence and belief up. If he plays, because I could see him put a few academy players in there and disrespect the competition, because we've already beat Exeter in the competition, so we've already got 3 points. And I think Forest Green beat Southampton under 21. So if we win that, we could basically be through. So I don't know. I want him gone eventually, but I think it'll just be a matter of time.
Yes, it's such a strange one because there's so much optimism with all 3 Welsh clubs, to be fair, this season. Obviously, one's already sacked their manager. Swans of our fans have already had the criticism of Martin, but he's changed things, to be fair to him. So it'll be interesting if Roby can do Martin. You know, we've changed the goalkeeper already. We've dropped out Summer signing, Darling, and things have gone well. So it'll be interesting if, even a change of goalkeeper or something Roby's got to do to, try and get the thing.
The worst thing is at full top. Well, this is how bad it was. Around the 62nd minute, half of the stadium was emptied. The fans just walked out. And then at full time, they booed. The players come over, clap the players, and then Rowbury come over, just completely and utterly booed James Rowbury. And then he went down the tunnel, clapping the fans. And that is going to anger a lot of people, because and I don't know what it is, but I just feel like he's going to come out in his press conference. I don't know if he'll do one for Forest Green, but definitely against Carlisle, I can just see what he's going to say. Something like, "We need to get behind the boys. You need to get behind."
Players have done well in training this week. We'll be ready.
Yeah, like something like that. It's going to be, well, you need to get behind us. It's a new squad. We've signed 11 players.
It's going to take time.
Yeah, most of these players in this squad are his. I done it yesterday. Another thing I done on the stream. I think 5 of our 6 attackers are his signings. 4 of our midfielders are his signings, and 3 of our defenders are his signings. So that's a lot of the squad that's his. So no one can really say, well, this is Michael Flynn's squad that he's dealing with now, because Michael Flynn, most of the players that Michael Flynn had, the likes of Amond, the likes of Ryan Haynes, players like that, most of them are either gone or just don't play.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm going to probably end the stream here, guys. I've got to go somewhere quickly. Anyway, cheers, Mike.
Great results for Swans. Unbelievable performance.
Bloody fantastic. I'm not sure if you saw the game, but we hit the bar 3 times before we scored.
I saw their comical defending. Jesus Christ.
Well, at the end of the day, you get your own luck. If you play well enough, you deserve that luck. So it's not like...
way better than that with the new owners that they've got, but they just...
I was surprised. I think they lost 3 before they played us, but some of the players they got on the pitch, like obviously bring Christie on, having Jean-Michel Seri, Figueiredo on paper, good player there, the top scorer in the league in Espirito. It's a surprise, but I think the early kick-off helped us with them not having many fans, and obviously being on Sky, you improve your game naturally.
I know that's obviously worked in your favour, but that is cruel as fuck. That is. And then a 12:30 kickoff from Hull.
To be fair, we did have them on a Friday night a few years ago at Hull where we were on TV, and we had the same amount of fans. So
4-4, what
Try not to remember that. But anyway, Mike, where can people find your channel and what type of content you come up? Because I know you did a very, very long, angry stream yesterday, which I'm going to watch later again.
Yes, great. Mike Green on YouTube. We have recently passed 3K. I've already put 2 videos out today. Obviously, one regarding Hartlepool and Colchester both sacking their managers. As Reese alluded to, there was a what's going wrong at Newport Rowbury in our out stream yesterday. We had 122 votes on that, by the way, which is unbelievable. And I think it was like 79% saying Rowbury out. So people are angry. Newport fans are really angry. Mike Green on YouTube. Be good if you can check that out. I'm going to start doing what Reese has done here in terms of a live match, post-match reaction show after the stream. So subscribe to Reese and subscribe to my channel as well.
Yeah, thanks. So I'll probably talk to you in Luca's stream because I know he's going to stream in a bit now for Brentford Arsenal match review. So I'll probably be on there or something.
Subscribe to Luca, people.
Last week, right? Anyway, cheers, Mike. Catch you later.
No worries. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Anyway, I'm going to call it an end here, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Of course, what I like to do about these shows is, talk about the game for 35, 40 minutes and just get other people on, talk about their team and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Big shout out to Alex Harrison as well for the very kind donation. I'll probably be back I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday for a Wales match preview of the Nations League game on Thursday. We'll do a watch along and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoy the content. Very, very good victory for the Swans yesterday, beating Hull City 3-0. A big 3 points to move us away from the relegation zone and up towards the top 10. But hopefully we'll be fighting for the end of the season. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming on. Cheers for the donation. Like I said, thanks to all the guests who came on, and Curtis, Nathan and Mike subscribe to their channel. But yeah, I've been Reese. Thanks for watching. And yeah, very good victory for the Swans yesterday. Let's hope we can do it again in 2 weeks' time against West Bromwich Albion away at the Hawthorns.